Hold on. Hi, everyone. I know there's a lot more people in this class, so we'll wait a couple minutes for them to find their way in. Apparently, Zoom is having some problems on campus this morning, so we'll give it a minute. I promised cat meows. Here they are. Here he is. He will come in. Okay, well, I don't want to hold everyone who's here on time up too much, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And then looks like there are other people. So as you come in, if you can mute yourselves, I think that'll be the easiest to coach a large class. And then one of the things I'm going to do is walk you through the basics of Zoom so you know how to raise your hand and type in the chat and all that fun stuff. So welcome to Psych 101 Section 3. This will be a large class. There are 32 of you enrolled. I'm trying to help out since on campus they had to make the classes smaller for social distancing. So I figured you all fit, so, and you can be safe. So I would offer this for more of you. And we have taught classes this large in person before, so can make this work in such a way that you all will get to know me and I'll get to know you. And you can hopefully start to get to know each other as well. I know for those of you who
everyone's on Zoom.
This is a super weird first semester. So thank you so much for hanging in with us. And we will all just work it out together. So I am Dr. Taryn Myers. This is the start of my 11th year here at Virginia Wesleyan. I'm a big believer in this type of institution. I went to a small liberal arts institution myself, only mine was in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. So you all have the benefits of having like the beach and cities close by. We had like cornfields and then our college and then some more cornfields. So take advantage of everything you can. You know, there's lots of great places to enjoy nature where you can socially distance. I've been walking on Chicks Beach in the morning and there's maybe 10 other people out there. So it's easy to keep yourself distanced and safe. And I know they're trying to do some things on campus for you all as well. So, and then hopefully by spring semester, we'll be able to be back to normal. There will be a vaccine. But for this semester, we will be doing it the socially distanced way. I unfortunately have 3 risk factors for COVID, which is why I'm doing this in a distant way. So thank you all for keeping me safe and each other safe by doing this. Hopefully it will not be awful, and hopefully you can enjoy not having to wear a mask to one of your classes at least. And we will just try to make this as personable as possible, as much as we can when we're all sort of floating heads on a screen. Other things about me: I am married. I have a cat. My husband is actually here right now. This is the fun of teaching from home. I have a cat, Simba, who's actually right here. I had to clear a space off on my desk so he could make himself comfortable because he rules our world. And then we have a 2-year-old as well who will typically be at daycare when, well, actually at school. She's going to start a little preschool when you all are on with me. I am recording this so that for people who are not able to attend, they will be able to review the recordings, and I'll go over all of that when we touch on the syllabus a little later in class. But what I wanted to start with is a little PowerPoint I put together to show you some Zoom basics. So I know that for some of you, this will be old hat because maybe you've used it for your high school classes, or maybe you've used it for other things. I know, for example, my church is happening via Zoom. Maybe some of you have had that experience. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen and walk you through just some basics of Zoom so that you get to know some of the controls. Okie dokie. So yes, there are screenshots of me talking to myself because I didn't have anyone else around to be on the call. So I swear I did not have a dissociative identity disorder or anything like that. So here is, again, a really awkward picture of me talking to myself. I'm going to give you the layout of what you're seeing. So first things first, now that I'm sharing my screen, you'll see this little box here, right, for yourself, and you'll have different options. So it may right now just look like a strip, or it may just show like a couple people, and you can expand it, and you can see more or fewer people depending, and it'll typically highlight the person who is talking, which means if you're not muted and sound happens behind you, sometimes it'll highlight you and you don't want to be highlighted. So just FYI. A couple other things that are available here, and I have some clearer pictures of this later, but down in your lower left-hand corner, there's a thing that looks like a microphone. That is where you mute or unmute yourself at least once a class. One of us will forget that we're muted and start talking. I did it in my last class. So, you know, in that happens, we just say, hey, you're muted, and it's fine. Then you'll see there's a camera icon. So here you can, if you have more than one camera, so I have a laptop in a docking station right now. So I actually had to tell it here to use my docking station camera because my laptop camera is just seeing darkness right now because my laptop's closed. And the way you would adjust that is this little caret, little upward arrow next to it. This is also where you can find fun things like virtual backgrounds if you want to use those. I don't, because they don't do well with curly hair. You get a lot of pixelation. So I don't want to make you guys seasick. So I just stick with my home office behind me. Then there are some other things here. So if you were to click on this thing that looks like little people, you'll get to see a list of everyone who's on class right now. Here's how we share screen. Excuse me. And then there's also the chat here. And so I'm going to go to my next screen and show you what this looks like if you have the participants open. And so once you're in this participant section, down at the bottom of this bar, you'll see an option. So you can raise your hand, and when you do that, it gives me a little pop-up that says you're raising your hand, so I can call on you. And then there's a yes, a no, a go slower, a go faster. And then if you click the more, it'll give you other options. You can do a thumbs down, thumbs up, little applause if someone says something you really like. So here is a better view, oops, let me go back for y'all, of the bar down at the bottom. So again, here's where you mute or unmute yourself. Here's where you stop or start your video. And here's where you adjust things for it. Here's where you'll see the participants. And there's where you can get to the chat. The chat is going to be a really helpful feature with so many people. It might be the best place to ask questions. And it will either pop up like this, or sometimes, depending on the mode you're in, full screen versus not, it might show up as a sidebar on the side. So that is our very basics of Zoom. There's a lot of other things we can do with it. And again, like I said, some of you have probably already done some of this. So just to show you the chat, I'm going to go ahead and throw up the list of y'all in alphabetical order We will actually use that a little bit later on. When you introduce yourself, you'll do so in this order. But for now, I wanted to see if anyone has any questions about the basics of Zoom.
How do you raise your hand again? I'm trying to find that right button.
Yeah, so if you click on participants, then there should be an option there. Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
No problem. Other thing I realized I didn't put in my PowerPoint that might be helpful to you all is in the upper right-hand corner, you can change your view. So you can either click it for speaker view, where just who's ever talking or unmuted will be highlighted, or you can click for gallery view and you'll see everybody who's in the session all at once. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do now is pull up your syllabus, and then I will go over that. It is posted, but I think it's really helpful for you all to hear me talk about it in my own words, so that you have better explanations of everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that on the screen so you all can follow along with me. Okie dokie. So you all found the Zoom link, hooray! And you should have gotten a calendar invite from me today that had that as well. And then here is my contact info. I put my office on here, but I'm not actually gonna be there at all this semester, but that's just where I'd normally be. So the way to contact me is email, honestly, or to set up a meeting with me. And I know that some of you have already done that. By using my Calendly link down here, you can set up either a Zoom meeting or a Google Hangouts meeting, whichever one you prefer. I do have my office phone number on here. If you can't email me and can only call, I actually do get my voicemail emailed to me, so I will know that you called. Alrighty, so this has been a little bit of a confusion. So there is a 5th edition now out of your textbook. But the bookstore has the 4th edition. So that is the edition I have chosen to stick with. Apparently this ISBN is not great for it. So I apologize for that in advance. But the bookstore does have versions of it. You have to make sure you do have a Connect code. Connect is McGraw-Hill's online system that we will use for you all to do your assignments and quizzes online. So we do need you to have that. And if you are having any problems with that, please shoot me an email. I know some of you may have some difficulties just like first week of classes stuff. I know I got at least one email earlier about needing paperwork. That's fine. I think I didn't make anything due on Connect until Monday because that stuff always happens. In terms of attendance, I do want you to come as much as you can. I am going to record, and I am recording right now for anyone who does have to miss class due to illness or anything like that. However, there is an electronic version of the textbook. Thanks, Raven. Yes. So you can actually just buy the Connect code, and it comes with the ebook. So that's another option as well. And I think that's under $100. So that might be the most economical way to do it. And I think you can buy just a code through the bookstore. At least they have been able to in the past. If not, you can just go on like McGraw-Hill Connect, just Google that, and you should be able to find it that way. That's a really good question. Yes, there's definitely an ebook, and it's a much more affordable option. The only advantage of the 4th edition is you might be able to find a used version, but then you need a fresh Connect code. So the advantage of buying through our bookstore is that Dr. Martorell, one of our other professors, did negotiate so that you get a full year's worth of access, whereas normally it's only 90 days with one Connect code. But if you can find one more affordably, it may be worth just buying it on Amazon or wherever you can find it. Alrighty, so like I was saying, please do come. We will do some group stuff in class, and so people just do better on the exams and such when they attend, because I will expand on stuff in the textbook, and we'll watch videos and things that supplement. I recommend you getting to know your fellow students, probably starting next week. We'll do some small group stuff in Zoom breakout sessions, and so you'll get the chance to talk to people that way. And it might be a good idea to exchange phone numbers or emails with somebody in class, just so you have someone to contact. You can always email me questions, but I won't ever share my personal notes just because they really won't make sense the way I have them formatted. So, okay, Kristen, thank you. That's another great thing. So yeah, if you click on the assignments in Blackboard, you can also just buy it right there. And I will show you where to find that on Blackboard. And actually, even if you have a Connect code, that's the best way to register, because then your Connect is linked right with our Blackboard page, which is really great, because then all your grades will just carry over. So yes, Blackboard is very vital. I post everything there. You will turn everything in there. It's a nice germ-free way to manage things, and also, to be honest, environmentally friendly way. We don't have to worry about paper. All right, so now we're at the extended remix version of my normal participation policy. I had to be a little more detailed this semester. So like I said, I am recording these lectures, but do try to come. And I'd encourage you not to record, just because those recordings are going to be available anyway. As some of you are already doing, if you need to keep your cameras turned off, that's fine. But you can't just turn your camera off and leave. So like if we're trying to call on you, or you're doing group work and you're not there, you're still going to be marked absent. But if you need to have your camera off but can still participate, that's totally fine with me. I actually co-led a session for other faculty this summer, and my co-leader's camera stopped working. And so he led this camera about discussions with, or this discussion about discussions without his camera on. So it certainly can be done. And in terms of discussions about our material, just ask that you be part of a scholarly community, respect each other during our virtual conversations. But please share questions, opinions, comments, things along those lines. And then you're not just a space on a screen. You are an active member of our class, and you are part of the learning. And so I really encourage you to actively participate, even though this is generally a lecture-based course. Some of the stuff we'll talk about will be controversial because it's psychology and that's the field. I mean, like, our first lecture, we're going to talk about Freud. Good old Freud is still pretty controversial. So I just ask that you criticize ideas, not people. You know, I normally take attendance and like take off for missing. I know that that's unrealistic at this point in time. There will be times that you have to miss because you have COVID, or you have a friend or a family member who has COVID. You have to work in an essential job. You're taking care of younger siblings or your own children. But I do have to take attendance each day just to sort of see how you all are doing. If someone sort of starts consistently not coming, essentially we'll just check on you and make sure you're okay physically. And I just really recommend you come to class. And if for some bizarre reason I were to test positive for COVID and wasn't able to leave class as a result, I would let you know if I was able, or academic affairs would, and likely one of the other professors would step in and lead my class. This is a class that's going to bring stuff up for you because a lot of the stuff is really personal. I'm glad to talk about these topics more abstractly, and really even to listen to you one-on-one about them. But I unfortunately cannot, you know, it's not actually a verb, but I always say therapize you, even though I am a clinical psychologist by training. And that's for a couple different reasons. One, I'm not licensed because instead of practicing, I focus on research and teaching. And the other is that there are ethical guidelines of the American Psychological Association that says I'm not allowed to have dual relationships, so to be your professor or your therapist. But I've got some info for our counseling center later in the syllabus. So you're going to have 3 exams throughout the semester plus a cumulative final. And you get to drop one of the 300-point exams. That's just a recognition that for most of you, it's your first semester here. Stuff happens. and there might be a week where you just don't do as well as you normally would. And so that allows you to still get a better grade even if you have one of those off weeks on an exam week. During exams, I will have them posted on Blackboard. I will log into Zoom and you'll be able to ask me questions via the chat. And so it'll be as much as we can replicating taking an exam in class. If you have, you get sick, car accident, whatever related to exam, just let me know as soon as possible and we'll schedule a makeup. So at the start of the first day, we cover each chapter in class. You're going to do a very short answer quiz that asks about your knowledge of that chapter. So I want you to explain it like a news reporter is interviewing you about it. And how would you explain it to the media in a way that they wouldn't like twist your words or like the average person reading or watching it would understand? And they will be pretty obvious concepts. Let's just put it that way. Like it shouldn't be hard to figure out what I'm going to ask you about. And so we'll do those at the start of class. I'll give you about 10 minutes to do it. And honestly, we'll probably only take you about 5, but I want to give enough time. And then we will start our lecture after that. Some of you have already done this. So each of you are going to set up a brief 5 to 10 minute meeting with me. And you use my Calendly link. And like I said, you can either do it via Zoom or Google Hangouts. And this is just an opportunity for me to get to know you. I think there may be 1 or 2 of you I've had in class before, but most of you I've never met before. It's also to let you know how to set up one of these meetings. So if you need to do it later in the semester when you're stressed out, you don't need to be like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? You already know how. And you get 10 points just for showing up. All right, so as I mentioned, a lot of your assignments will be done via Connect. So the Learn Smart modules are essentially a way to help you retain the information from the chapter. These are the only assignment people have complained to me about in the past, so I'm just going to give you a heads up with that these sometimes do take a while if the chapter has a lot of material. But people have also said this really helps them retain the material, and McGraw-Hill has done research that shows that people that use this in particular, their grades actually are better on tests than people who don't. So. And then you have a lot of little 10-point assignments throughout the semester. And this sounds like really daunting, like 45 assignments. They're all going to take you like max 5 minutes to do. And you get 10 points for them. And they're supposed to be fun. I hope you will find them fun. The ones I chose, you either like do a video, read a little article, do an interactive activity. And it's a way to, again, like process the material in a different way. And to be perfectly honest, to get some easy points. And because of the weird way that we have to do this semester, there might be times where like we just answer things a little bit differently, and so I get done with class sooner, and that's okay. Because in that case, what I want you to do is just take that time to work on these, and that's fine. Is it Lara? Laura?
Yes.
Lara? Okay.
All right. Do we need to go? Oh, for Connect, is there a certain link you have to do it, or is it an app?
I believe you can do it on your phone, but actually I'll show you right in Blackboard how you can get to it. I actually have linked our Connect assignments in Blackboard, and you can just get to it right from Blackboard. So
okay.
Later in the semester, later in the year, later in the meeting, God, I'm like extending things. But then again, what is time now? Has it been 5 minutes or 5 years since we started this? I don't know. But I'll go over it before we end today. But yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, the easiest way is to just do it, and you can do it on your phone, or you can do it in an internet browser. There's no like app you need to download, although they might have one for your phone. I think they do. Great question. You also have quizzes via Connect, and those are due essentially at the time of the exam. And that's because those will help you study for the type of multiple choice questions you'll have at each exam. So I will help as much as I can, but a lot of, if you have problems with Connect, is really an issue McGraw-Hill has to solve for you. Their tech support is pretty good. So you should be able to contact them through Connect pretty easily, and they should be able to help you resolve things. Another thing that you're going to do, again, to just sort of like get to know the science of psychology, is to do what are called psychology experience credits. So we are going to have at least 4 students doing research this semester in the psych department. And then we may have some professors collecting data as well. So you would get credit for doing one of those projects and then writing a little brief summary of what it was like. If you don't want to be a guinea pig, that's fine, no judgment. Another way you can do it is to read about a research article and write up a similar little summary. And if you have a hard time finding research articles, I can help you track them down, no big deal. And then you've got until the final day of class to do these. So you have all semester, but I will try to remind you that they exist. So you have a lot of points for this class, for the semester. And it looks daunting, but what it means is, like, let's say you do horribly on one of the Explain It to the Media quizzes, it's not really gonna affect your overall grade that much. So that's why I have a lot of this stuff, so that, again, doing the Connect assignments that are pretty easy will make up for that. You can do extra credit assignments. I already have those set up through Connect as well. Those are all little 1-point assignments, pretty easy to do. If you need any kind of accommodations, make sure you're working with Crit over in the Learning Center. If you have already contacted him, he should have paperwork for you to share with me, or he might send it to me directly. And then if you have an underlying medical condition, where you feel like you should not have to go to in-person classes, Crit is the one to talk to. Obviously, this class won't be affected, but I am glad to help you navigate your other classes if you need to. Here's the information for the Counseling Center. So our Counseling Center is completely free to students. And I like to always explain how affordable and important that is. So as I said, I'm a clinical psychologist by training. And while I was on my residency, I saw a person without insurance, and the facility set the fees. I had nothing to do with it. But she had to pay $175 an hour to see me, and then another $100 an hour on top of that facility fee. So free for therapy is obviously a lot better than almost $300 an hour. So Bill Brown is not the only one there. He also has very well educated and well-trained interns. And if for some reason the VW Counseling Center doesn't work out, let me know. I know people in the community, and most of them are doing virtual appointments, so you wouldn't even have to travel off campus. The honor code is really, really important, especially in this weird semester where, like, we're not all going to be in the same place when we take a test. So I just ask that you be honest with yourself. If you need help, come to me rather than trying to cheat. What I found in the past is that people who cheat actually usually do worse because they're spending so much time trying to figure out how to cheat, they don't study, right? And so it's like this weird thing. So just don't put yourself in that situation. All right, so brief overview here. So you have reading for Wednesday, and your first Explain to the Media quiz then. If you are having trouble accessing things, honestly, for this first chapter, it's not going to be true for all of them, but just sort of Google like Intro to Psychology, and there are open access textbooks that probably cover really similar stuff that will get you what you need for that. And I really did mean to make the Learn Smart module due Monday, so I will move that due date and make sure that that is due Monday. So I'm just gonna write myself a little note. For those of you who haven't been able to get your Connect, I will make sure that you have that extra time to do so. But then we'll start sort of a normal pattern where the first day of each chapter, you'll have the Learn Smart module due, and then somewhere after that, really usually the last day we cover the material, you'll have your Connect assignments. And I have a little guide up top as to what my abbreviations mean here. And again, it looks really daunting to have 6 assignments due, but max that's gonna take you an hour, probably more like a half hour. So And again, you get 10 points for each one. So you can see the topics we're covering this semester: research methods, biological foundations, sensation and perception, states of consciousness, learning, memory, thinking, intelligence and language, and development. So this one is very much, the Psych 101 is very much sort of a biopsych, cognitive psych way of looking at things. But it's a really nice intro to a lot of the courses in our major. We will have a review day for our final, and we will do, at the end of the last class before each individual exam, we'll also do some review activities as well. Alrighty. So that is our syllabus. Let me go ahead and stop share and see if anyone has any questions at this point in time. Either raise your hand or stick them in the chat. Awesome. All right, well, what I'd love for you all to do now is to introduce yourselves. So, oh yeah, Lara, go ahead.
Should there be any bugs or we're having trouble accessing the system? Is there a way to let you know that?
Yeah, you can just email me and let me know if there's hiccups going on, and then I'll help you get connected with the people you need to at McGraw-Hill to get stuff figured out. That's a great question. Yeah, let me know, but don't expect me to be able to fix it, basically. Unfortunately, I don't have the back end in terms of programming and whatnot. Great question. Any other questions? Cool. Well, what I would like for you all to do now is to introduce yourself. So for each of you, I'd love for you to say your name, your pronouns, your class year, and then it's a really crummy time. So what I'd like you to do, instead of dwelling on that, is to tell me something you're looking forward to this semester. And it doesn't have to be in this class. It can be anything coming up. And so if you go to the chat, again, if you hover down below and find your little bar at the bottom, the chat is the thing that looks like the speech bubble or maybe like your text app on your phone. I put a list of your names in alphabetical order by last name, and this is just the easiest way, since we don't have rows to go around, to determine the order in which you'll introduce yourselves. So it looks like we'll start with Ryan Abraham if he is on the call.
Yeah, so my name's Ryan Abraham. My pronouns are he and him. I'm class of 2023, and I guess I'm just looking forward to being back on campus and all.
And then you all can just follow along if you want, so I don't have to interrupt in between. But next up would be Rachel.
Yeah, I'm Rachel. I'm a freshman. I don't really know what I'm looking forward to, just everything, I guess. Yeah.
Right, next up is our other Ryan Baldwin.
How are y'all doing? I am the Ryan. I wouldn't go with other Ryan, but I mean, well, that'll work. Truthfully, this is selfish, but I am looking forward to good internet. My internet was terrible all summer being at home.
I'm Madison. I'm a freshman and I'm class of 2024. I'm looking forward to starting lacrosse.
Okay. Hi, I'm Carter Bernaquez. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a sophomore this year, and I guess I'm looking forward to just doing way better than I did in my last spring semester, so hopefully I can do better this semester.
It was a tough semester for everybody.
I have no idea.
And if you can't get it to work, if you can't figure out how to unmute, you can just write in the chat if that's easier. Okay, that's fine. If you're working on your mic, you can go last. So next up, last name Brown.
My name is Davion Brown. I am class of 2024. I'm looking forward to just doing great in this class pretty much.
I'm Rebecca. I'm class of 2024. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm looking forward to growing as a person and experiencing new things.
Hi, I'm Raven. I'm a freshman, and I'm excited for starting golf.
All right, is Nick on the call? I know we have a couple people not here today. Okie dokie. So looks like after Nick would be Madison F.
I'm Nick.
Oh, there you are, Nick. Hey, sorry.
I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to starting tennis.
All right, looks like the other Madison might not be on. So Jasmine?
Hi, my name is Jasmine. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a sophomore, and I'm looking forward to not having to deal with my siblings.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to playing field hockey.
Hello, I'm Sean. I'm a sophomore. Pronouns are he and him. I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to the groove of things they were last year, trying to just get back to some form of normalcy.
Hello, my name is Brianna. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to experiencing new things, going new places.
I'm Elijah. I'm a freshman, and I guess I'm looking forward to meeting people because I literally don't know anyone yet. And I guess basketball too. But, yeah.
Hi, my name is Ariel. I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to Model UN.
Hi, my name is Caitlin and I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to meeting new people and getting an education.
Okay, is Kate in here? Double checking all my rows here. Okay. We will skip ahead to Kristen.
Hi guys, my name's Kristen. My pronouns are she and her. I'm looking forward to visiting my family in Texas because I haven't seen them for 2 years.
Right, next up is Jacob Moyer.
Hello, my name is Jacob. I'm a freshman. I'm looking forward to meeting new people and throwing shot put on the track team.
Hi, my name is Haley. I go by she, her pronouns. I'm a freshman and I'm looking forward to see what life after high school brings me.
All right, and next is Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I go by she, her pronouns. I'm a freshman. I'm looking forward to meeting new people because I'm from New York, so this is like all different for me. And I'm excited for softball.
Okay, next is Jenny or Janai.
My name is Janai. I'm a sophomore, and I'm looking forward to track so I can try to win a national championship this year.
Freshman, and I'm looking forward to the soccer season.
Hi, I'm Aaliyah, and I'm a freshman, and I'm looking forward to meeting new people.
All right, and Lara, you're next.
Hi, my name is Lara Spencer. I'm a junior and I'm looking forward to this whole pandemic being over.
Next up, last name Vanderweer.
Hello, I'm Makeshu Vanderveer, and I'm a freshman, and I'm looking forward to making new friends and learning new things.
Is Michaela Ward here?
Can you guys hear me? I can't. Okay. My name is Michaela, and I am looking forward to the chance. I'm a freshman, and I am looking forward to the chance to do things on my own.
Hi, my name is Caitlin, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a sophomore, and I'm looking forward to my Women and Gender Studies class.
Hi, my name is Ross. I'm the class of 2023, and I'm looking forward to eating cookout all the time.
All right, and we are back all the way around. Hopefully your mic is working.
Did I fix my mic?
Yes, yay.
Yes, I'm using it on my phone because that works. Anyways, hi, I'm Nikessa. I'm a freshman. My pronouns are he, her. Well, the only two things that I was excited about when I got here was actually having hot water and not having to deal with hornets flying in my room.
They were not the murder that were earlier this
They
summer.
were the European ones, the European hornets.
It's been an exciting summer for everybody. All right, so typically what I'll do instead of going through our whole roll is I will just check you off based on the participant list. So let me show you real quick, and this is harder on a phone, so you'll have to poke around or probably Google how to do it. But if you ever want to change your display name, if you hover over your own picture, in the upper right hand corner, you should see 3 dots. And then if you click on that, you should have an option to rename. And then you can rename yourself whatever. So if I just wanted to be Dr. Myers without the Taryn in there, I could do that. So yeah, that's the way that you can get your name the way you want us to call you pretty easily. Alrighty, and then Elijah, you have your hand up. Did you mean to? I could lower it for you, unless you have a question. All right, just wanted to check I'm not missing anything. All right, so next thing I want to do is walk you through Blackboard, and then we will probably finish early, because I know the first week of the semester, y'all have to run around all over with your masks on to go to the business office to do this, and go to the bookstore to do that. So you always need a little bit of extra time. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to share our Blackboard page. Now, just a sec. There it is. I had 2 different Blackboard pages open, so I had to make sure I was showing you all the right one. Okay. So I know some of you have already signed on and taken a look at this, so that's great. So homepage will always bring you here. If you look, you will see past announcements here. When I make new announcements in Blackboard, I'll always send them as an email, so you all get them that way as well as them being posted here. My info is going to be here for you as well as on the syllabus. So my email is always there. It's a nice quick way to get to me, as well as my Calendly link. Yeah, Julia, go ahead.
I just have a question about Blackboard. So I haven't been able to like log in. It's not letting me. So do you have any advice of like who I could go to like?
Yes. So Robin Takis, and I always spell her last name wrong. So hang on, let me look it up real quick in another window. She's the nicest lady, so I always feel bad when I do that. But she is our Blackboard administrator, and she is like a whiz with everything. So she should be able to help you pretty quickly.
Okay.
Her last name is spelled Takacs. So her email is rtakacs@bwu.edu.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. Yes. Anyone else who's having problems with that, definitely contact Robin. She also has an office on the first floor of Clark. So as long as you're masked, go see her. Again, she's just the nicest lady. After we had our baby, she brought us food and brought us enough for like 2 weeks, I think. It was insane. Okay, I'll come back to the Zoom info because you both found it, so that's good. I went ahead and I posted VWU's non-discrimination statement. I think that that's really important in light of everything that's going on right now, with everyone finally figuring out that Black lives do matter. Oh, shocker, right? But I think that it's really important to know that we do not discriminate, and our department in particular is really trying hard to live this every day, as are several other, really the faculty as a whole, but certain departments in particular. We also, as a faculty, just had a great workshop on Friday run by the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities, which has an office on our campus. And our workshop was on unconscious bias. And these were the group norms that they suggested for interacting with people. And so one speaker at a time. Sometimes that's hard on Zoom because it's harder to see everybody. So using the raised hand seems to be working really well right now. So why don't we stick with that? Using I statements. So, you know, not like, oh, well, you know, all those other people, right? Thinking about how things affect you, or talking directly about the material. Maintaining confidentiality. So if someone does disclose something in class, not going and spreading it all over campus. Practicing purity of motive. So believing that people come at things from a good place and they just might not be as educated, right? And that kind of relates to number 5. If someone says something that is really problematic, sort of ouch, and then educate. I will always try to be the person who does this, but if any of you feel comfortable jumping in before I get to it, please feel free. Share the air, just making sure that as we have discussions, if you were like me and you're very talkative, you kind of back off and let other people chat. And then taking responsibility for what you say and how you say it. So rather than getting defensive, saying, you're right, I said that in a really crummy way. All right. So the next thing on our sidebar here are your Connect assignments and quizzes. I have these organized by chapter. So if you click on any of these links, it should take you right over to Connect. Because I have an account already, it's just going to connect me. But here is where, if you hadn't yet purchased Connect and just wanted to buy it that way, it would pop up with options to do so. So that is certainly an option. And this is also where if you have a code, it will ask you to input it. And then again, what's really nice is that Connect just syncs with Blackboard. So once you finish something in Connect, it'll automatically pull your grade over to Blackboard, so you'll always know where you stand in Blackboard. Here is where you will turn in your psychology experience credits. So there's a space for 4 of them, and again, those are due the last day of class, so you have all the way to December to get those done. And then I know it's tough for folks, so I have actually, oh good, it looks like we have the first 3 book chapters. So if you don't, I've forgotten I had that, that's great. So if you can't get your book till Monday, you can read it right here, at least the first chapter and the first couple chapters. But I have all of my PowerPoints available as both the PowerPoint and as a PDF. As you can hear, I naturally talk a little quickly. I come from the Midwest, and part of Midwest I'm from, we just sort of do this. I try to slow myself down. Clearly, you can tell me if I'm going too fast through throwing it in the comments or just raising your hand and be like, can you repeat that? But what people have told me has really helped in the past is using these. So downloading the PowerPoint and just taking notes in the notes section. Some people like to print these out and hand take notes next to the slides. Whatever works for you all, definitely feel free. But those are all accessible for you for the whole semester. So please feel free to do that. And on Wednesday, I'll spend a couple minutes at the start of class showing you how I take notes when I'm on a Zoom call. It's sort of idiosyncratic to me, but it might help you. All right, so the last thing I want to touch on today is that I do have a little poll I want you to fill out. This should take you like 5 minutes max. And I am going to stop sharing and throw that in the chat for you. You can just click that link and follow it. This is just to give you more info about you and how you're accessing the class. And you can sign off now if you want. If you want, I'm going to stay on for a couple minutes in case people have any questions. But you can go ahead and just sign off to do that. Just please get that done before Wednesday so that I have a chance to look that over and again get to know y'all better. But I've enjoyed having our first class with you. You all are already asking great questions, and please email me if you have any concerns. Yeah.
Well, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Jacob.
Where did the link go for the poll you wanted us to fill
Okay,
out?
so if you go to the bottom of your screen and you click chat,
Okay.
I put it in the chat.
Okay, thank
If
you.
you can't find it there, it's also on Blackboard.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, y'all, I'm going to sign off. And if you need anything, just email me. Have a great day.